Hello everyone, Danielle here from Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I'm so glad you're here to join me today. If you are new here, welcome in. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you are watching this on the replay, you're going to have just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. But if you would like to join us live, go ahead and check out that description below. I stream at least 5 times a week, same days, same times, and the schedule is down there. You can also see information and links to my online live Reiki certification classes, community Discord, crystal shop, and social media. If you are here with us live today, go ahead and click that live chat button. Feel free to make any request for your personal healing that you are comfortable sharing. We are going to go ahead and put that towards a beautiful crystal grid just to the request of everyone that's here. We'll spend the first 45 minutes or so building that grid together, and at that point we will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and I'll send Reiki healing to you wherever and whenever you happen to be. If you want to skip ahead to the healing, go ahead to about the 45 to 55 minute point, or when you see the lights begin to shift downward, and just enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure as always. So let's go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat and begin work on our crystal grid. Okay, awesome. So we've got our beautiful copper spiral here. Copper helps to get the energy flowing, break up blockages, just sort of get things moving. And let's pop into the chat and see who's here and how everyone's doing. Grace, good to see you. Joy, great to see you too. Future Someone, Cora Carr. It's wonderful to see all of you. So happy that you're here. Oh, Chris, welcome in, you too. So let's start adding to the grid. We've got support for Greg and Susan, health and materialization, absolutely. Vincent, on time and for their highest good. I think we've been doing Garnet for that. Patty, return of their cat, and Zest for life. For some reason I just got an intuitive hit for orange sunstone for that rather than yellow calcite. So yeah, there we go. We've also got your mother for prosperity. I got 2 for her. And cardio health and healthy eating. You got it. And I will walk us through all of these crystals as usual. I may have to sneeze in just a moment. Glad I was able to catch that in time. The air is so dry in here because of the radiators. Oh my goodness, I've had like 2 nosebleeds in the last 4 days. So if I end up having to like quickly grab my nose and like shut off the camera, you know what's going on. So yeah, I'm gonna boil some more water on the stove when we're done and hopefully get some moisture in the air here. Let's see, we've all got, hey JS, good to see you. Vincent, welcome back in. Kimberly, great to see you. Key. Wow, everybody's here. I love it. Okay, cool. So let's go garnet. Great. Flower agate, white coral. Depression and happiness. Absolutely. Yeah, Luna, I hope you're doing well too. The kitten babies are hanging out. They've had a great couple of days. They're completely better from their surgery. And yeah, just thought I'd share. calling in a new home and job, and the courage to go after the life you want. You got it. Fantastic. Okay, so let's dive in. First, I'm going to bring in some jet. I know we've had some grief feelings, and also calling in a missing cat for someone, and jet is thought to be one of the stones that can help do that, so we're going to bring this in. Jet is fossilized wood that's been fossilized very quickly, usually through some kind of cataclysmic heat event, like, say, a volcano or a very hot fire. So it reminds us of basically it went from being wood and a tree, like a living tree usually, to being a stone. And that's, it had to die as one thing to become another. And so this quick transformation often reminds us of that. So when anyone's dealing with grief, like I primarily use this as a grief stone, it can help us to be present with our feelings, be present with everything that's going on, and not be overwhelmed by it, so we can actually start to move through the grief process. But it is known to help also bring in our missing animal companions. Focusing energy to be productive, absolutely. You're completely rebuilding your life, JS? All good. We are so totally here to cheer you on. Let's see, and productive, yep. And I'm going to say garnet hits a lot of notes for a lot of you. So I'm going to bring that in next. Garnet helps with organization, courage. So courage to go ahead and live your life's purpose, but also creativity and productivity, organization, very Capricorn stone. Like, okay, I'm excited. I've set my mind to it. I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to do it in the way that best optimizes my time, my energy. I'm going to be organized and methodical about it, and I'm going to see it through to the end. Very Capricorn. This is also helpful for finding balance and strength in times of change, which, JS, I don't think that's going to hurt. But yeah, this can be wonderful. But organization and courage are big ones for this. So garnet for sure. And I will straighten those up in a moment. A very practical stone. Okay, there we go. We've also got chrysocolla. This is making decisions that are in alignment with our highest good. It also helps with encouraging us to live our soul's purpose in a way that's meaningful to us, regardless of anyone else's input or like the what you quote unquote should do kind of things. This is also great if you're trying to find a new creative outlet, as is garnet, because if you are really embracing something new and going down a new path and you're working really hard at it, sometimes having a way to be creative can help you ground some of that frenetic energy and express some of your feelings as you go along the way. So this is chrysocolla. As you bloom and blossom, we have flower blossom agate. This here allows us to see ourselves bloom anew in our new purpose, in our new version of ourselves as we continue to grow, whether that's growing into new patterns and new habits, letting go of old ones, or that's embracing an entirely new life path, whatever it might be. Flower blossom agate helps us see the beauty in our own growth. So we're going to go ahead and put this here for now. We may move it for the cardio stuff, and also for calling in a new job. A perfect one is tourmalinated quartz, and that's good for both. So this helps us with breaking up patterns and scar tissue, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. So it's black tourmaline running through clear quartz. And this is thought to break up scar tissue, but also anything that is constricted. On the physical level, it's thought to support things like breaking up scar tissue, like maybe surgery on a joint and the scar tissue was inhibiting movement, or any kind of blockages in the cardiac system. Of course, these are crystals. They are part of the healing recipe. They are not a replacement for anything. We also have that this can help the finding of, like I said, new jobs, new gigs, new opportunities, as well as new ways of looking at fortune and luck, new opportunities with new luck in that kind of field. So this can help create a lot of good space. Also, someone was looking for some support with travel in the last one at the 4 o'clock stream. This is thought to be protective of travel, but it can also help break up any blockages that prevent us from traveling, like fear of traveling or any of our usual patterns that get in the way, like not prioritizing what we want to do, things like that. So, yeah. A lot that tourmalinated quartz helps us do. And I'm glad that we have it here. Let's do this. Okay, and let's see. Grandmother's sciatica and foot health, Amazonite, that's what that's for. Indigo, gabbro, carnelian, azurite. Gabbro, azurite. We're going to go ahead and bring in next for us some prehnite. And this came to me intuitively about Cora Carr's mother and the request for financial abundance and prosperity. And prehnite is what keeps coming through intuitively. I'm not exactly sure how it all relates, but prehnite helps us with opening up to spiritual lessons, as well as teaching them. So learning spiritual lessons and imparting that wisdom to others. It also can help with divination, with getting an intuitive guidance, and with setting some good boundaries, particularly with refusing unfair demands. So here is some prehnite. I hope that this is helpful. I'm also going to go ahead and bring in some citrine. Our usual everything good and beautiful in financial abundance and resources. Citrine is the go-to stone for calling in financial support, whether it's from your current job, whether it's seeing things differently, whether it's being open to new opportunities, whatever the case may be. This is an excellent stone for that. It's been used for that for quite some time. So let's go ahead and put that here. There we go. We also have some polychrome jasper. I saw the request of not only courage to go after the life that you want, but Key's request to improve focus and energy to be productive. Garnet is very helpful, but also polychrome jasper can help us to feel energized, encouraged, and motivated in a really big way to start to move along on our spiritual path, move along with work, move along with what we need to do on the day-to-day basis to get things done. So yeah, so here is polychrome jasper. It's a very energizing stone. It also helps not only the root and sacral a little bit, it really helps the solar plexus. But yeah, a lot of times I see this as one of the chakras we don't often talk about. It's often called in the West like the Earth Star chakra. And this is where our energy connects to the earth and physically showing up and doing the things that we need to do in alignment with our soul's purpose and with our ultimate goals. So I'm going to bring in polychrome to help us there. Hey, it's good to see you again, Heart. Yes, I will absolutely add that in. Favor and approval for contracts. Absolutely. Good one, Joy. Good to see you. Okay, so we're all in there. for help. I did see Korakar's request for help around eating healthier, maybe losing some weight. I have been working with Blue Apatite lately. This is going to be in the crystal store next. This is helpful for not only having healthier attitudes and healthier connection to food, but a healthier relationship to food. If your goal is weight loss, it'll support that. If your goal is letting go of feelings like guilt and shame around food or emotional eating, it's also really helpful for that as well. So Blue Apatite for sure. It also helps people to communicate their needs. If you're somebody who struggles with asking for help, Blue Apatite can be really, really powerful. So I hope that this is helpful. I'm going to put this in front of the pre-night because of that one request I think was pretty helpful. This is a tumbled Blue Apatite. And this is a raw Blue Apatite. And they do look quite different. It is a very soft stone. Oh, it's good to see you all. Gotcha. We can definitely work on that. Okay, cool. So, happiness, joy of life, wanting to embrace life with everything that it has. We've been working a lot with yellow calcite. So I'm going to bring some more of that in. It really does help embrace that sense of joyfully walking along our life's path. So here it is. Solar plexus and listening to our internal sense and knowingness of what our soul's path is, taking pride in that, pride in ourselves, and moving forward in a more whole way. It also can help with letting go of obligations that are no longer serving your highest good. If you're recalibrating boundaries with people, whether it's family, whether it's work or career, if you're reestablishing your priorities in that regard, this might be a helpful stone to help to start to put yourself first a little bit. With that, we also have Amazonite. Amazonite is great for folks who need a little bit more self-respect and also a little bit of self-care. It's great for the caretakers in the world, whether it's a chosen field or just how you go through life. It's also wonderful for things like moving through pain and injury and healing needs around the spine and the spinal nerves. So it's helpful for all of those things. So especially things like sciatica, spinal stenosis, it's thought to be very helpful for that. So definitely give it a shot. It's also very calming. Very, very calming stone. So we'll go ahead and bring this one in too. Bring in that little heart. This little guy here. That's Amazonite. That can come in like light pale blue-green down to like a deep kind of green with white stripes. It can look quite different specimen to specimen. Aqua Aura, absolutely, yeah. Gotcha. Aqua Aura is thought to be really supportive of depression. I've personally felt that to be the case. And again, crystals are part of the healing recipe. They're not a replacement for anything else in the recipe. They're just another great ingredient that helps bring more to the table. I do all the things for depression, and why not some crystals too? So Aqua Aura is a man-altered stone. It's clear quartz that's been put through a process with titanium, in this case, to give it the blue color. I did do some research, and I do see a lot of folks discussing how it's helpful of depression, or at least thought to be, but there's not a ton on it. Not a lot of people have spoken about their experiences with it because it is fairly new. It's not like it's something that we've been working with for hundreds or thousands of years like some of the other crystals, and we can look back through history and see how it was held sacred and how it was applied and used, because this is a very new process. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Whoop. I hope that that helps. We've also got in alignment with following our soul's purpose. So definitely for JS, definitely in line with the request from Korakar specifically for white coral. This is very sustainably harvested white coral picked this up off the beach myself after a storm when I was walking along with my grandmother, along with another much larger piece. This helps us to very much embody that I'm following my own path. I'm following my own path. I'm not going to be distracted. I'm not going to be pulled off purpose. I'm going to do what I know I need to do, regardless of other people's input, regardless of any kind of boundaries, not boundaries, but more like barriers in my way, and even the internal voice that's telling us we can't do something. This helps us overcome that as well. So that's white coral. You've had your Aqua Aura for 20 years. Yeah, it's definitely been around for at least 30 or 40 that I can find. But a lot of folks, even in that time, haven't worked with it because they're like, oh, it's man-made, it's altered. I mean, at this point, what isn't? Just because it's not older than us doesn't mean it doesn't have a purpose. So definitely has a lot of wisdom. Definitely love that. Your mom asked for red tiger eye again? You got it. We've got red tiger eye to bring in very, very strong energetic protection and intuitive protection, as well as manifesting money in a hurry. This is one of the most protective stones, even up to and including some really malevolent, intentional types of acts, whether it's on the earth plane, like people doing things to cause harm, even stirring up drama or gossip, all the way to like magical harm. This can be a really great protection amulet, and you don't even need a lot of it to help you. So we'll go ahead and bring this in along with our garnet, along with our citrine. There we go. Can also be really helpful against bullies, and that's whether it's like a kid at school or a workplace with the mean girl kind of attitude. Yeah, it can be really helpful for having really low like self-esteem or feeling like you're not good enough, deep-seated insecurities, that kind of stuff, especially where we've been told repeatedly like you're not good enough, where we feel like we're stuck unless it's perfect. So we end up not getting things launched or done or moving forward because we're like, well, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be good enough. I can't do it. This is a great stone to work with. If you're stuck on a project and you're like, I'm ready. It's almost ready. And it's been almost ready for a while. And it's time to let it go and be what it is. Mahogany obsidian. A mahogany obsidian is a volcanic glass. This definitely helps with those fears of failure, keeping ourselves trapped in this idea that we're not good enough and we can't move forward. We can't move because it's not, we'll be judged, we'll be judged harshly, particularly. But anytime we feel just not good enough on a fundamental level, this can be helpful. So that's mahogany obsidian. And also, I'm going to bring in some Apatite, which is very helpful with the negative self-talk, which can also kind of go in line with a lot of what comes up with mahogany obsidian. Apatite helps with the way in which we speak to ourselves in general, but also helpful for any kind of recovery from illness or injury. So I feel like that's so many people any day of the week, really. But also just the nervous system in general. It's also thought to be helpful for the brain as well as the nervous system and the skin. go. We have some indigo gabbro. This helps us to become more aware of our tendencies that undermine us, whether it's our attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors. This will kind of bring our blind spots into our field of view and say, hey, did you notice you're doing this? This is not helping your case. Indigo gabbro brings that illumination, but also is present with us so that we can have the guts to face those things. This is known as shadow healing. This is where we look at those parts of ourselves that we generally don't see and maybe don't like so much, or hide from ourselves, almost like scar it over and like, nothing to see here. This helps to give us a peek behind that curtain and see what needs to be really addressed in order to make some lasting change. We also have, some orange sunstone. This helps greatly expand our vision of our own potential, which I think hits on so many different requests today. Sometimes we don't see how high we can achieve, or how high we can set our goals. We limit our own goal setting because we really just think it's so far beyond what we can do. This is the stone that reminds us that we did not come here to play small, and that your ability to grow and get things done may be far beyond what you normally think is possible for yourself. So this helps recalibrate that. So for those of you moving forward in new directions, this is a good one to keep around. So let's see. We shall bring this here and here. Carnelian allows us to, yes, manifesting money. Budget is way too tight these days. Yep, absolutely. Carnelian helps us with relationships, not just romantic ones, but also family, co-workers, colleagues, neighbors, all of that. Carnelian relates very much with the sacral chakra, which has to do with how we literally relate to others from a community level to an interpersonal level. This is also a great stone that helps creativity and passion, as well as anything having to do with sexuality or sexual function. It's thought to relate quite a bit to fertility, so it's very popular among folks who might be going down the route of IVF or things like that. And it's also thought to really help anything that has to do with calling in a sacred partnership, or even moving through having like a cold or allergies. So we'll bring this into. There we go. Sapphire is a potent stone of intuition. This is one that can help us to greatly expand our channel, our connection to spirituality and everything that gives us those messages from the other side. Whether you're working with angels or guides, whether you're using mediumship in a way that's either channeling guides or channeling someone who's crossed over, whatever the case may be, this can help strengthen the connection. It can also be a little ungrounding for folks who haven't worked with it before, or who don't have a lot of experience grounding their own energy. We do need to connect our, lower chakras like root, basic needs, community, things like that, in order to get the most out of our intuitive and psychic practices. As above, so below, and it is a matter of balance. So definitely recommend using this alongside some grounding stones. And if you're brand new to working with intuition, you might want to get used to the concept of opening up intuitively and then kind of shutting down before you start working with something quite this strong. But it's a beautiful stone. Obviously, so many people wear it. Blue sapphire. This is how it actually grows, these shapes. It was not cut into these shapes. It's a corundum, which is the type of stone that it is, quartz is like a 7 on the hardness scale. Diamond is a 10. This is a 9. Ruby is also a corundum, also a 9. So very, very hard stone. Not as hard as diamond, but as close as you can get. So there we go. We've also got, oh cool, we've got a good list here. I do have blue kyanite. I think I've got all of that. Cool. Tourmalinated quartz I already have out there for Frank too. And for some other reasons like manifesting work. Azurite, this one here that was requested, I haven't worked with this in the longest except for once here, and I know I looked it up, but totally blanking on it at the moment. So those of you who work with Azurite, go ahead and let me know in the comments how you use it, what you feel it helps you with, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a book and get some input. So this is the Complete Crystal Handbook by Cassandra Eason. So go ahead and check that out. I'm actually really enjoying her perspective. And here it's talks a lot about like spine and circulation, but also oxygenating the blood and helping support the brain. So everything from moving past stroke, healing from stroke to Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that are mentioned here on a physical level. Emotionally, it talks about inferiority complex. So there we go. I'm really glad you requested this because it sounds like a really great help for what Heart was asking for. So yeah, feeling inferior to others, whether you've been bullied or kind of browbeaten, that kind of thing, this can be helpful. So yeah, absolutely love that you called on this. Mental alertness, prosperity. There you go. Thank you so much for requesting it. I'm glad we got a chance to see some input on it. And let's see what everybody else suggests. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring our azurite to the center here. We'll sort of add it in. We've got amazonite. We don't have howlite yet. Dalmatian jasper, selenite, iolite, hematite, ametrine, blue kyanite. Let's bring in that blue kyanite for sure. I know somebody had a family member or friend who was struggling with having recently had a possible stroke, and this is thought to be a helpful stone for that, as well as the azurite. Blue kyanite helps with accepting yourself exactly as you are, regardless of what's been internalized, what's been said to us, how society might view us. That can be really helpful around the holidays when we get a lot of unwelcomed feedback, let's put it that way. A lot of unnecessary judgments, we can say that too. So yeah, I will bring this in. This also helps to clarify the messages we get when we're doing any kind of intuitive work. If we have dreams where we feel like we're getting a message, but we can't quite figure it out, blue kyanite's a good one. Excellent for like tarot readers, mediums, anything like that. There we go. Kyanite. Amazon azurite for you, Korakar, is like a mashup of lapis and malachite. It is very related to malachite, with an extra emphasis on opening to the self and channels. Also wonderful for depression and anxiety. That makes a lot of sense too. Thank you. Howlite can be very helpful when it comes to anger and resentment, as well as anger and resentment, as well as anything that has to do with bones, whether it's bone density or calcium deficiency or anything like that, healing broken bones, and it also supports the joints. I don't always mention that, but it's thought to be really helpful for joints. Even if it's not like an osteo problem of the joints, it can be helpful for the joints overall. But it's one that I would say, whether it's frustration, anger, resentment, any of that stuff, this can help us be present with those feelings and move through them without being overwhelmed by them and without sort of bypassing them. Let's do... There we go. So that is Howlite, Herkimer, Angelite. Herkimer helps to balance energy that just is not harmonizing. If it feels really, if you walk into a place and energetically it feels almost like when two people are playing two different radios at the same time, it's like, what is going on? Yeah. It also helps harmonize what we're manifesting so that it's in better alignment with our soul's purpose, but even more importantly, everyone that manifestation touches. So it can be helpful with that, with intuition, and with metabolism. So it's a very useful stone for many different things. They come from New York State. And yeah, let's go ahead and bring this in. So that's Herkimer diamond. Okay, and Angelite, as the name would suggest, helps us connect and have better communication with our angels. Angels often get lumped in with religion. They are so much more than that. They have been around since way before religion. Angelite helps us to feel the guidance of our angels as we go on our soul's path. They can give us some very helpful advice with how we're proceeding, how we're progressing, and how we could best progress and continue to progress, as well as what types of healing we might want to focus on moment to moment. Very, very helpful stone so that we never feel alone. We'll go ahead and bring that out here. And Iolite. Iolite is another stone that does so many things, but particularly with intuition and anything that you see visually. Some folks don't really see visually, so this might not be the best stone of intuition for you. I mean, try it, can't hurt. But this is for those of us who have visionary meditations or do journey work or even have really visual dreams. This can be very, very helpful. It's also helpful for money managing. So for those of us who are struggling financially, this can help us make the most of what we have, as well as metabolism and even weight loss, because I know that was an intention that someone had mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and... Is there nothing here? Let's go ahead and put these here. Yeah, the Forbidden Drive in the Wissahickon Park area, it's in the Fairmount Park system, but it's up in the Wissahickon. Excellent place to go looking for stones too. The animals are very sensitive to energy, so if you open up to the energy and go for a walk, you will see lots of nature. But you can also be open to seeing different crystals and stones that naturally occur there, particularly garnet is prolific over there. There's lots of great stones to find there. So, but yeah, it's a wonderful, energetic place. So enjoy your time out there. Let's see. Yeah, the Forbidden Drive was actually, it's in Philadelphia before the bridges over the Schuylkill River existed, they had just a couple of river crossings, and you would have to like pay a ferryman before you'd come over. These connections across the river would close at nighttime, and so you would have to make it there by a certain time. After they, excuse me, one moment. Sorry about that. After a while, when they did open better bridges, they shut the Forbidden Drive, that now is Forbidden Drive, they shut that down, and they basically let it dirt over. If you look at it, it really is a bridge. It's going through some terrain that would be difficult to consider ever driving through. And when it was blocked off and no longer used, it was called the Forbidden Drive. So it's meant just now for like, it's used as a horse trail for bikes and for walking. And thank you. And thank you. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. And we've got... You can park very close to the Forbidden Drive. You can also take some buses up there. There's a big bus depot where several buses go very close to there. Let's do Hematite, Rutilated, and Aragonite. Hematite is thought to be deeply purifying and cleansing. In fact, the Greeks thought that it, or felt that it like cleansed the blood, which is why it's hematite. Hema being the prefix that we see having to do with blood. This is a very, very grounding stone. It's very heavy, and it helps us to, I feel like, let go of energy into the earth. In the Japanese energy understanding, energy that we're ready to let go of leaves the body through the feet. So this can help us, I feel like, let that energy go back into the earth to be recycled and transmuted. Oh, Heart, I'm so glad this is helpful. So happy you're here. Aragonite with Caribbean blue calcite. Two different kinds of calcite. The brown is aragonite, which helps with the root chakra and the earth star chakra, very much like a polychrome jasper does. This helps us to feel connected to the earth and what we need to do to move forward, feeling less fear and anxiety, and also helping us to heal on a physical level. The blue Caribbean calcite is very much the upper chakras, so like the crown, the soul star, and the third eye. This is being connected to collective consciousness, intuition, and enlightenment. And when we have an opening and a balancing on both parts, it's thought to help the flow of Kundalini. That's your energy that's coiled at the base of the spine, and the intention through tantric practice is to bring that energy up. In the West, we hear Tantra and we immediately think those books that you get at like a bachelorette party. That's only because Europeans saw that went, oh my gosh, scandal. That's this much of Tantra. Tantra is a practice of moving energy and attaining enlightenment, moving towards a more spiritual connection. That's what it's for. This can help. Yeah, we tend to misunderstand a lot of stuff. Cultural dissonance is absolutely a thing. And yeah, so let's bring that in. And last one, we will bring in Rutilated. And then I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to do that thing where I kind of check in with the universe and see what crystals will harmonize with everything you all have requested. So Rutilated, Actually, I've got these rutulateds too. So rutilated quartz is usually clear, doesn't always have to be, that has these rutils running through it. And it's thought to help direct the healing energy exactly where it needs to go, as well as balancing mind and body. It's energizing, especially if we want to prevent getting sick or get better after injury or illness, like if we need that energy store to start to come back. If you look closely, you can see right here on this edge a little bit of, it almost looks like blonde hair. Those are the rutils. Now, when a stone is not polished, it's a little harder to see through. When a stone is polished, we can see all those rutils. These are both rutilated quartz, very different specimens, and they've been prepared very differently. So for today, we're going to bring in some rough rutilated quartz. But yeah, you can have rutilated smoky quartz, which is actually quite common. I have several pieces of it. Here we go. We will bring in rutilated quartz for balance. Let's bring in this piece right here, opposite the azurite, and right in there with our citrine. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at some stones, and you know the rest. So if you're going to vote early, go ahead and don't forget to like the stream. Appreciate that. And let me see what wants to come in. Definitely this. Oh, and there was a request for Dalmatian Jasper. I was actually going to grab Dalmatian Jasper, and then I realized that there was a request for it. So let's consider that one of the two. Yeah, we all kind of know at this point that you're not limited to just one vote. So one of them will be Dalmatian Jasper, which just like, the tourmalinated quartz, it has black tourmaline running through it. This is thought to help clear our energy fields. Black tourmaline helps to break up what's in its way and sort of purge or repel negative energy. So this is thought to clear our auric field. It can be really great anytime, but especially when we've been around a lot of energy, or maybe people that aren't super happy and healthy, and we tend to be a little bit more permeable and absorb that. The other is peridot. Peridot is exceptionally helpful for breaking bad habits and for breaking up cycles. So I've seen a couple of you are asking for that. Like, I want to let go of one thing and bring in another. Working through healing. Breaking up cycles is really important. This is also a very loving stone that supports you while you're doing that. So it's not just about breaking through these really difficult things. It's about loving yourself through that process and expanding your compassion that you have available for yourself in that process, and where needed and where appropriate, compassion for others in the process as well. So that is peridot and Dalmatian Jasper. So go ahead and vote. I will quickly explain what Reiki is, what to expect to those of you who are new, and then we will get right into the healing. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm so glad you're here with me this evening. I've been teaching Usui Reiki for about 14 years, and Usui Reiki is named for the system's founder, Mikao Usui, who created this particular approach of working with this energy in the early 1920s in Japan. His influences were widely varied, and he studied many different influences from esoteric Buddhism to Taoism, Confucianism, and certain types of martial arts, like a predecessor to Aikido, and different shamanic practices even. But the actual concept of just what energy is and how it flows really is rooted in the indigenous spirituality of Japan, which is known as Shintoism, in which everything has a soul and everything's interconnected. And when I say everything, I don't just mean people, everything, including the nature. including the plants, including the very ground under our feet at a place like the Forbidden Drive in Philly, like we were just talking about. This particular energy connection is, we could use the term energy to talk about how there's sort of an interconnection and a movement between all of these things. Energy is the best word we have in the West. In the 1930s, Hawayo Takata, who brought it to the US, used to liken it to shortwave radio because that was the best analogy she had at the time. So, take that into consideration as well. But essentially, there are many ways in which we're interconnected, and there's many ways in which we are sort of alive and vibing on a soul level, how we move forward physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, karmically. One of these frequencies, if you will, is known as Reiki, which translates to spiritually guided soul energy or life energy. Reiki is something that I believe, and seems to be that more common understanding is, or more classical understanding is, that we all have this energy flowing through us all the time. It's always there. We always have access to it. Our body, mind, and spirit are always working with this energy to bring us into the greatest sense of balance. And when we intentionally work with this energy, we can bring in greater levels of healing and balance. Essentially, what I'll be doing today with the practice that I've been trained in Usui's method is to connect with that energy and direct more of it to each of you to help support your body, mind, and spirit to come to that best balance and best healing to support you in whatever way your inner knowingness already has an idea how to use. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to focus on anything, and you don't have to keep a silent mind, although you can do either of those things if you feel you want to. I would suggest just finding a place and a way that you feel the most physically comfortable. Lay down, sit up, whatever works. You can move around all you need, that's fine too. And while I'm sending, you can close your eyes and just notice. Notice how you feel. You may feel the Reiki show up physically and feel it in your body. You may feel some emotions shifting and moving. You may feel some thoughts come up from your subconscious, and you may experience some intuition. It could be a combination of all of the above. It often is, but you don't have to do anything. Like I said, you can just simply enjoy and just see how it shows up. If you are concerned that your mind might be racing, or if you get distracted, just take a deep breath in and out and continue just seeing what the Reiki has to hold for you. After about 25 minutes of sending this energy to you, I will come back in. You'll hear my voice welcome you to come back to your body and pop into the chat with any questions or anything you want to share, and we'll take it from there. As I send, I will turn the music up so that you can enjoy it. If you want to learn more about our musical creator, her information is linked in the description below. I'll also turn the lights down, and while they will move slowly and gently through several different colors, they will not flash or strobe, so you're good there. As you enjoy this energy, if you feel like you want to do something else while you're receiving it, like journal or do some yoga stretches or play some music, whatever it might be, go right ahead. Support yourself to have the most healing time that makes sense to you in this moment. Every session's a little different. And just as Reiki energy flows through and connects all of us to one another, it doesn't matter where you are in relation to me in terms of miles and kilometers. It also doesn't matter in terms of time. So if you're watching this in the future, hello from the past, go ahead and enjoy your session. Your intention to feel it will absolutely be enough. And if you ever do want or need a session and you're like, she's not streaming right now, pop into an old stream. I have a whole playlist, and you can just look through the pictures of the crystal grids in the thumbnails and pick the one that's best for you. You can even skip ahead to the healing portion and just be. And I really hope that this supports you in all of the ways that you need to today. If you do want to set any special intentions during the session, bring them to mind, take a deep breath, and let them go. The universe will hear it, and there's no wrong time to set an intention. If you want to learn more about me, my live online Reiki certification classes, my community Discord, crystal shop, or social media, it's all in the description below, and I'm here 5 times a week. So subscribe with notifications on if you want to know when I'm going live, or if you want to know when I do some occasional pop-up streams around holidays, world events, and different kinds of astrology. So thank you so much for being here today, and let's dive right into the healing. So what won that vote, everybody? Both. Oh, it's always both. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in this Dalmatian Jasper. Clear our energy fields. It's never a bad day for that. Never, ever a bad day for that. And Peridot, breaking up those bad habits, supporting us to have compassion for ourselves and others as we do so. I'm just going to drop it in there. There we go. I think that looks and feels incredible. Thank you all so much for being a part of this grid. And thank you for being part of today's healing, whether you were at just this one or if you were at 4 o'clock and now. Thank you for being here. And remember to go ahead and consider subscribing to my email newsletter or the Discord if you want news on savings on gift certificates for one-on-one distance sessions or in the crystal shop. So with all of that, capitalism and YouTuber stuff aside, let's go ahead and get into the good vibes. So go ahead, get cozy, move around all you need. I'm going to send for 25 minutes, which will bring us to 25 minutes after the hour. And I hope that you have a beautiful session. I will see you then. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly come back to your body. Moving your fingers and toes. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you have any questions or anything to share, I invite you to go ahead and use the chat. You're so welcome, Key. It's good to see you. All the best to your mom as well. You're welcome, Kimberly. I'll be back Sunday at 8 p.m. East Coast U.S. time. And if you are doing the whole capitalist holiday thing and you would like to order some crystals from my shop at learnreikiphiladelphia.com/shop, there is a coupon code. If you're on my Discord or on my email list, you're going to get a better coupon code, but this one I will share with everybody. It's in the chat now. It is Shop Small 2022 or 2022, all one word. Enter that as the coupon code when you go to checkout, and it will take 20% off of your total purchase. Tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, I'm going to be launching a new product line, so definitely go ahead and check that out. But the most important thing is thank you for being here. It's so wonderful to be able to share this time in this space with all of you. Simply being in the flow of Reiki, being able to build a beautiful grid with all of you to all of your specifications and see how lovely you are to each other. Thank you so much for being here. You all are so, so welcome. Vincent, Hart, Maria, you are so welcome. It's so good to see you all. And whatever your weekend looks like, I hope it's beautiful and everything you need it to be. Definitely take care of yourself and get some rest. Oh, wonderful. We enjoy having you here. I enjoy all of you being here. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end the stream here with an abundance of gratitude to all of you, and especially those of you who were able to jump in on yesterday's surprise stream or, very short notice stream for the holiday. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on if you want to know about those coming up over the next month. There's definitely going to be a lot in motion, as December is always a bit all over the place for everybody, I feel. So I'll definitely be popping on with some extra streams to help us through those times. You too, future someone, definitely have a beautiful weekend. And you're here late with us. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you, Heart. Yes, and the kitties are doing so well. All right, everyone. Thank you, Maria. So everybody, take care of yourselves. Have a beautiful couple of days. I hope to talk to you all soon. Take care and bye for now.